Go.
Welcome, everybody, to your new favorite podcast. We are Anastasia and Ananda,
Hello.
and it's our second episode in which we will be talking about friendship, relationships, and probably some Buddhist magical stuff as usual. So, I am happy to say that I think for the first time I'm kind of not afraid of falling in love. Because I usually fall into that pattern of liking someone of somewhat how we can say it, well, someone better, so that I can learn that they possess, that I have a little bit but I want more of it. Then I'm like, oh yes, give it to me. No, but the thing is, I know that I can get over someone and be completely fine after that. And that kind of gives me quite a bit of peace of mind. Because I know if I fall in love, if something goes wrong, I'll be fine anyways, because I know how to deal with it. And if it goes right, then wonderful.
I think that's a really reassuring thing to know, actually, because my first relationship, I literally could have broken up with him maybe a year and a half before I did. I was kind of thinking, I was so young though, and I just honestly didn't think I could be single, and didn't think I'd be able to get through a breakup because I'd never had one before. And now I've had I don't know, quite a few, 2 big ones, a few small ones. And so I know it's the same. You just know it's impermanent to a certain extent. So you just have to relax, and you'll always be fine.
Well, I mean, you're not gonna be fine for a bit.
For a bit, yeah, you can expect it, but in the long term, you'll be fine.
But in the end, it's okay.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like there's this very good technique if you kind of get caught up in desire too much. It's like you look at the things that person kind of possesses. Like, what do you want exactly? And then you find a way to kind of satisfy on your own. Because, I don't know, it might be someone is really good in, I don't know, in practicing Buddhism. And then then you start practicing and realize, oh, okay, so that's the energy that I'm so attracted to. I better go and do a lot of practice. And then you do a lot of practice, and then you become very abundant. Then you're in resource. You're not going and begging like, oh, please give me your energy. Oh. Yeah, so that's what I do. No, basically my history of breakups just taught me how to deal with desire, and as well as rejection. It's like, by the end of the day, you should love yourself and respect yourself and kind of just do your thing. Because, well, that makes you in resource. You can give. And when you give, then you receive.
Yeah, of course.
So like, oh, I'm so destitute. Oh, love me, please.
Yeah. I think it is so important to feel kind of, before you're in a relationship, really, to feel comfortable with yourself, to feel comfortable, I'm trying to think of the word. Yeah, to feel comfortable with yourself, and that when you're in the relationship, I think you're just aware that you're not kind of giving too much of yourself or expecting too much of the other person.
Right.
And that they're not some sort of addition to you, rather they're just like a bonus to your life and to your path.
Yeah.
And that if they fit quite well on your path and you're kind of heading in similar directions, that
yes.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, my ex-boyfriend, he has a very good analogy. It's like, you're going into the world, you're hustling, and it's like a game. You're going on quests, helping each other, like having adventures together, and just, heading in the same direction. And then you're also having a lot of good sex. So, I don't know, sounds like a perfect relationship to me.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Not something overwhelming, like, yes, he's my whole life, it's my whole world. What am I gonna do without him? Well, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just someone who can. It's basically your best friend with the extra romantic things, and someone who you can rely on for support. Who can, I don't know, who understands you. There's a lot. There's different things I think are basics that to a good relationship, and also like trust, obviously, that sort of thing is very important.
Well, but I mean, yes, it's like you should get into a relationship only when your intuition is saying that it's good, because you always know if something's gonna be wrong.
Yeah, you always know in your gut.
It's
I
like,
always know.
yeah, if you're just going into a relationship out of loneliness or out of neediness, probably not gonna end well.
No. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what I did for the last, I've been in 3 or 4, small relationships, so very short term, kind of we slept together a few times, and I was kind of like, oh, we should have I was the one who was initiating all these things. I was just feeling really low and lonely and just inadequate. And then they were they didn't want a relationship or to commit. And then the last big relationship I had, the same. I think I saw something in him. Maybe his determination and his what am I doing? His determination and his his drive. That was something I really, really wanted. And to be fair, from being in that relationship, it did give me this sort of more. I am more confident
right.
I'm in being more driven. Yeah, I just said all of them. None of them worked out because I went into them all for the wrong reason, and I can see that in hindsight.
No, yes.
At the time, I was kind of yeah, this is what I need. This is what I need, and all my friends are
I don't know about that.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So basically, if you go into it with selfishness, it's not gonna work out. If you go to it with compassion and an offering of, I don't know, love and development and something like that, then it's very nourishing.
Yeah.
So yeah, somebody told me. Somebody told me. Well, I told someone that I don't have a boyfriend currently. She was like, "What a waste of resources."
Someone just messaged you or in person?
No, in person.
Do you prefer? I think I know the answer to this question on what you're going to say, but do you prefer kind of? What do you think about virtual meeting people online before meeting them in person?
Well, I mean, that's fine. Just don't keep it for too long because, I mean, no, you can keep it for long, but at the end of the day, always meet in person because, well, we all know that online and in person, there are two different, it's rather drastically different or it's at least a little bit different. Nobody expresses themselves 100% authentically online.
Yeah.
So yes, but I mean, I have one friend. Basically, I met him through an ad. He just posted I want to talk about Buddhism and politics, Buddhism and this, da da da. If somebody's interested, hit me up. And I was like, what an approach! Oh my goodness. No, I mean, just the way it was written and like kind of approach to it, like you're in Nepal and you want to explore these things, then you just post an ad, and I'm like, damn. And he turned out to be a great friend and a wonderful,
Damn.
wonderful human being.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. That's a
Yeah.
cool story. I think I'm just like, I don't know. I think it's very easy to get swept away by like the childhood, like dream love story of like,
Yes.
just like meet your dashing prince and like a rant. Like you'll just like bump into each other in the street and like I don't know, wherever you are, and then you'll just like accidentally bump, like knock, spill his coffee into him, and then you were just like fall in love. I don't know. When I was younger, I was like, really, this is how love happens. This is how it happens. And then as you get older, you realize that that's just, I don't know. It's all just a what's the word? I don't really know what's the word.
I don't know which word you're searching for.
It's all just I can't think of the word. A dream. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the female form of dreaming about these things, because I was just watching one psychological video on this, and it turned out that as much men basically women read all this like either pornographic or romantic stories as much as men watch porn. So it's kind of like the women equivalent. You just dream these things. Da, 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 da.
Oh, that's so true. In the same way that men kind of, their expectations of sex are completely based on watching porn, and so their expectations of sex are super high. Like women's expectations of romance are based on like reading these kind of stories. That's so true. Yeah.
Yes. So, but I don't know. It's like I feel like that romantic, deep feeling. It comes from the connection to yourself and connection to the present moment and to your partner. It's still very possible to be like super romantic and open and like just have this kind of mundane fairy tale of a story. It's like I have so many amazing stories, but they just, well, I mean, it's the beauty of reality. It's not that perfect. And there's, I mean, I don't think that perfect is the best. It's kind of boring. I mean, no, I don't know.
No, I know what you mean.
It doesn't have to be like in stories.
But I think I know what you mean, because it's almost more like because it's also boring. Like imagine if your whole relationship was just like that the whole time. I think, I don't know, I think eventually, because that's what happens, like because of our because of impermanence, because of our constantly changing moods, like obviously the dynamics of the relationship are like also constantly changing as well. So that's almost like when two people can come together and they can like stay true to themselves, but also manage to kind of tame this, like, I don't know, just to have the relationship and for it to be positive, even with all of these constantly changing emotions and feelings, thoughts, blah blah blah. It's like a very special thing, because it's like it's rare to find someone that you can stay with for a long time, and like throughout everything, you can you'll stay in love, and even through the ups and downs, etc.
Yeah, no, I feel like a very important thing is just being comfortable with conflict. Like, if you two are in conflict, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, and it doesn't mean that you hate the person. It just means that something is conflicting, and you can talk through it. You can really resolve it.
Yeah.
It's like, even basically my first boyfriend, he set the bar so high in terms of communication. Like, whichever problem, even like the subtle, I don't know, coldness or something, like something is going wrong, like we would both always acknowledge it and talk through it, and it always comes from a good place, from like, I don't know, I felt like this, and then oh, I felt like that. So what are we going to do about it? And so that's, we basically, I don't think we've had even one like fight actually.
Yeah, that's really good. That communication is key, as they say.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because I think for my two big relationships in my life, the first one when I was 15 to 18 or whatever, it was kind of, we had communication, but we didn't, it was very superficial. Like we never really breached the deeper kind of issues within our relationship. And it's almost like because of that, our relationship was so stable, and then it became very codependent because we weren't talking about the fact that we were using this relationship completely because we felt kind of scared to face the world and
right.
face ourselves. Like we actually had a big conversation about it like a year after we broke up. We were like, yeah, it's crazy because only now we like completely, we can talk about these things, but when we were in the relationship, it was just like we wouldn't talk about it. It was because we were really young. And then in the other relationship with the older man, it's kind of the opposite. Like, so it was toxic because it was more unstable than stable. Like we were constantly arguing, constantly, like 1 minute we'd be super in love and it would be super passionate, the next minute we'd be like annoyed at each other, and it's just like always like high low, high low, high low. And then in that environment, it's like, it's just not, I don't know, it's just not normal for it to be like that all the time.
Yeah.
Because there's no stability and no respite. And yeah, so I've had the two extremes. I just feel like I've never had a relationship where it's just been like a good balance of both extremes.
Well, yeah. I don't think I've had yet.
Yeah. I mean, we're super young still, so
yeah. It's like one of the Sangha members. I was complaining to her, "Oh, I'm so heartbroken." She was like, "Honey, you're so young. You're gonna have." So
I know. I think I know who this is. I think I know who it is.
Probably do.
Because she said the same thing to me when I told her about my I think if it's the same person. When I told her about my the toxic ex, because at the time I was super in love with him. I was like, yeah, I'm just like, we started this relationship, really love him. She was like, yeah, well, you're so young, it's probably not going to last that long, so don't get too attached to it. You're going to have loads more relationships. And I was like, yeah, this is very true.
Yes, that is very true, and this is very beautiful, I think. Yes. No, but the thing is, yes, so while you were describing your long-time relationship, I thought that you can go like this together, but then you can go like this, both just like wild, and then coming together back, and then again wild. So kind of having this freedom it's really nice. It's like you're two big planets just like together, like that.
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah, it's really beautiful actually. It's like in the Woman Who Run with Wolves, and it was saying how, at the beginning of relationships, sorry, I don't have coronavirus. At the beginning of relationships, just there's the honeymoon phase. So you're kind of like, you're just so in love with the idea of this love, and like everything seems so like happy and abundant, and it's really beautiful. Like you're getting to know each other, and like you feel like
I rarely have this faith for some reason.
Really, it's always better to see things as they are though than to be like, yeah, this is the perfect person. And then often when couples start to see the real version of each other, then they start to run away from the relationship, and like they're more likely to break up because they start to see little things in the other person that maybe they don't like, or they blame things in the other person, and they're like, you need to change because you're doing this wrong. And then in the Woman Who Run with Wolves, it's talking about the importance of accepting kind of cycles of life, death, life. So just like constant transformation, and just like being brave enough to kind of um, just brave enough to accept that that's going to happen, like there's going to be constant cycles of transformation, and that you can grow together and understand like the depths of each other. So yeah, that's basically very important.
Yeah, and just let people to go through their shit as well. Just like, oh yes, he's going through it. I support him, but I also have my own life, and I'm also going through something like transformation.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
It's really hard to balance it though. It's like we're saying it like it's not easy. It's never easy. You really have to make, I think, especially when you're younger, you have to make a conscious effort to not let this relationship become your existence, and all your time is like consumed thinking about it.
I guess, yeah, but I take so long before like actually making some like friendship or attraction a relationship. I feel like by the time I'm in relationship, it's actually something quite like, you know, with a good like base to it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm just really impulsive and get into things really
I
quickly.
see. No, for me to like get a boyfriend, it's quite a decision. I mean, yeah, for sure, for you as well, but it takes me like, I don't know, months or something.
That's good. I think it's good. From now on, I think that will be my approach is much slower and not taking as many risks with relationships. I know myself.
I know myself. Sorry, there's a song, and then it goes, I love myself. Player haters, you should love yourself.
You should love yourself. This is the key message.
The key. No, also the funny thing is then when you look at the person that you used to be so madly in love with and you don't feel all that, and you're like, wow.
You're like, how did I ever feel this for you? How did this change? Yeah.
No, I mean,
crazy.
not how this changed. I know how this changed, but it's just so weird. It's like, when, like, this is the person, this is the whole idea, like, and now you see just that, and it feels kind of empty without all the, you know.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But it's also chill because you still understand that this person has just as many good qualities as you saw in them when you were in love. It's just that it doesn't bother you that much anymore.
Yeah, and you can take really positive things from the experience onto your next relationship.
Yes.
Or just onto
learning experience.
Learning experience, growth, etc.
Yeah.
Etc. It's very positive.
That is true.
It's very true.
Yes, I'm just looking at my leg, and it's just like because I'm training these days so much, it's getting more muscular and more tan because it's summer. So I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I have a small tan line now. I'm excited. I'm going to the beach tomorrow. I'm really excited to get tan. But my leg, I haven't really been able to exercise. I've been walking and doing like ab workouts, but because of my knee operation, I have to be quite careful with what I do. And it's actually crazy. Like I just underestimated like how much it affected my mental health. Just being able to go for a run or something, it's crazy. I really miss it so much. Just to release any tensions and things.
I see.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Not having legs is a precious thing. Yeah.
It's so we take everything for granted.
Honestly. I know, right? We do take everything.
This is what the lockdown has taught me, that I should never take anything for granted. No.
Well, I mean, yes, every time impermanence hits, you're like, wow, I should value things way more. It's like me, I will be old before I realize how powerful my youth is.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, even though my mom tells me, I don't know, or my parents tell me, like, you should make the most of your youth, it's not gonna last that long. But it's just like, I'm just almost in disbelief. The idea of aging does scare me a bit, though, just because I like being young, and obviously I like being young and being fit and healthy and not worrying about.
No, but okay, if you would make the most out of your youth, then what would you do? What's the ideal?
What, how to make the most of my youth?
Yes.
I think, I don't know. I can see that maybe there are some ways I could make the most of it, more like being less shy. Sometimes I just kind of just being more confident, because I have no reason to be not confident, to be honest. There's a lot of great things in my life, and I've achieved quite a lot of things that I wanted to achieve, so like why shouldn't I be confident? And also just taking more risks. I think it's like at this age that we have so many opportunities.
Now
so I
the
just need
time to make mistakes.
Exactly. And like now's the time to just like, even though we don't really know what we're doing for sure, just try things out, and if they don't work, it doesn't matter. And I think I just spend too much time thinking like about what I should have done or what I should do, and
yes, for sure.
not actually just doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, so those are the main things. What about you? Do you have anything?
Well, me, I would for sure take less responsibility. And just, no, what I really want is to just travel as a complete bomb, just like go around backpacking, or like, well, yeah, just wild traveling. And I'm probably gonna do that soon.
Are you gonna do it after your A level?
I don't know. I might just go for a couple of weeks this summer.
Okay.
I don't know. But I mean, it's kind of like I realized that desire of me going like wild traveling, it's basically my wish to just throw myself into the world and see how will I swim in that, like a Sparta's child, you know.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I kind of, that's why I want to. So I'm just stretching my back. It's really tight. I really want to travel in Nepal and India next year, just because, or the year after. I'm not sure. Just because I also just want to see what I will do, how I will immerse myself, without having structures.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I can do it without backpacking, basically. Well, I mean, no, honestly, what I really want to do is just completely don't have any personal concern, in a sense that I'm just gonna do things and not care about how I look, or like how my ego or reputation will
how you're
feel
being
about
perceived or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. To just go and make a fool out of myself and just gradually get better. That's what I really want to do, yeah. That's, I think, what making the most out of your youth is.
Yeah, I think we definitely just spend too much time worrying about what other people are thinking, when literally they're never think. I think we talked about this in the last podcast, I can't remember, but they're never like, most of the time, like probably 90% of the time, they're not like looking at you and thinking, oh, they look so stupid, or like they're not criticizing you, and that's just all coming from yourself.
Yeah.
It's silly.
I know, right? And it's like, well, when I see people like that who are just so, like,
free,
not free, but they're just like really trying and then being a fool, I'm like, I respect it so much. I'm like,
exactly.
yeah, he's on a mad grind. That's so cool. I wish I would do that.
Yeah, and it's actually an inspiring thing to do. Like, by doing that, you're inspiring other people to stop caring so much for what other people think and just do what they want to do.
Yes, that's why I dance in the subway sometimes.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yes, and honestly, the best practitioners and even business people, they're just doing stupid things and trying everything, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like people who've gone through the most amount of things, they are like, well, I mean, it's obvious, they're the most experienced and wise.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I just really like crazy people who've come out of it and became like really gentle and wise. It's like, it's so...
Yeah. I completely agree. But it's okay. We still have time. It's just, yeah. My dad said to me the other day, like, "Oh, soon you'll be nostalgic for your youth," and I was like, "Don't say that.
Oh, well, that
Don't
means that
say that."
no, that means that your adult that your adult years are just not that fun anymore. But it's your own making, though.
Mm, yeah. I don't even feel like an adult though, and I don't think I'll feel like an adult for a long time, honestly.
You feel like an adult only when it's time to die.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. There are a lot of people who are just big children.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, but I
Yeah.
definitely do feel way more like a woman than I used to. I used to always feel like this
Oh
tomboy,
yeah, for sure. I do as
tomboy
well. It's just
teenager.
more like kind of, and now you're a woman, blossomed.
I'm a waxing moon.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't even think, I don't know, because for me it's strange. So my mum, I mean, your mum was quite young when she had you, and my mum was 23 as well, which is
Mm.
obviously older than your mum, but still quite young. And it's like, for me, this is crazy. I can't imagine having a baby right now. Really,
Mm.
I just don't. I just
No,
don't
yeah,
feel like I'm
that's way
emotionally
more
stable enough, or
responsibility.
like,
I feel like I'm not even catching up to her in her years. But then also, I don't
no,
need to.
no. And everyone has their own path and way of how they
Yeah.
blossom, how they come into themselves.
No, yes, because she's really a hustler. Like in the
Mm,
young days, she used to work so much. And
mm,
me, I'm like, I'm just so well, I just have things that I really love and I do them. But then in terms of like hustling, I think I should, you know, turn it up a little.
hustle, hustle.
Hustle, the
Yeah,
hustle life. Yeah, that brings me to a lot of
yeah,
good thoughts actually. I have so many plans that are kind of crazy, but if I don't have that much personal concern, I might actually go through with them. That's also like there is this quote by Chogyam Trungpa.
mm,
Uh, if you drop the unnecessary things, you're able to just soar high in the sky. And it doesn't mean that you drop your
mm,
responsibilities. It means that you drop your ego, actually, because so
mm,
much fear is coming from ego and like, oh, da da da. Even though in the long run you will be like through these actions you will benefit so many people and yourself, but you're just like, oh, how am I gonna look? Oh my god, I'm gonna be rejected. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not good enough.
mm, mm.
So
Yeah. In reality, those things don't really matter.
yeah, you're completely connected with the world, and if you put out the thought that the world is trustworthy and loving and supportive, it's gonna be that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're being a little bitch and being really cold and arrogant, and that's why you keep meeting cold and arrogant people who
And
reject
people,
you.
yeah,
So the world, I mean, not the world, but you will see it through the world reflecting it back, and then you can work through it. That's
yeah,
also fine. You're like,
yeah. That's so true, actually.
yeah.
Perspective is important. And it's very easy to make things. I always do this. Like, I make tiny thoughts and then I make them into my whole day, and then they take up the whole day.
Oh my
And
goodness,
my
I
whole
know.
perspective of the world is like, the world is awful. Everything's falling apart. My life is falling apart. And in reality, like, I've let this one tiny thought just destruct my
Mm,
whole day.
right. No, yeah.
Distract myself from the present, and yeah,
No,
stress.
in even your limitations, it's such a reflection. No, I mean, for example, I don't want to get a useless job. Useless
Mm,
in the sense that doing something that's not according to my passion, blah blah blah.
mm,
And then I was complaining about that to my mom, and she was like, that just reflects that right now you're doing something useless and wasting your life. And I'm like, oh, that is true. It's like the way Rinpoche makes dumplings is not the same way as you make dumplings. So the action doesn't matter. It matters what's in your head.
The intention behind it. Yeah. Yeah, it's so relatable. Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's so nice because I became way more friendly as well. I just meet friends. Like, I just make friends everywhere these days. Even my tutor, he was telling me today that, well, he's tutoring from his family home these days. And his mom was saying that, oh, so the way that you talk to that one tutie is so different. It's like you're talking to a friend. It's me. He was like, yeah, I'm so happy. You're like the definition of job enrichment. It's just like talking to a friend. I'm like, oh,
that's so cute. I had a similar thing. I was really towards the end of my last term. We were doing this historical translation, and it was 1-to-1 with the tutor, and I was really enjoying it, and like really like trying my hardest, and just like felt really connected to it and stuff. And I just like at the end of the lesson, he's just like, "It's just a joy to teach." It's just the same thing. The definition of teaching, like enrichment of being a teacher. I was like, "Oh, that's so lovely."
Yeah.
Just your whole, even just like your attitude towards a lesson, like it just rubs off on the teacher. I used to be really like quiet and scared to answer any questions, and just like kind of sit there and be a bit kind of like grumpy. And then the way that our relationship was just like, I don't know, we just kind of didn't get on in the same way, and now it's like really nice and harmonious.
Yeah, for sure. So every action can be really enriching and meaningful, even if you're having a business tutoring lesson.
Yeah, so and everything is just interdependent and connected.
Yes.
Everything.
That is true. But yes, well, actually, I think that we should stop here for today.
Yes. I
Yes.
was going to say the same thing.
Ooh.
You read my mind.
Intuition. But also social clues. But yes, so thank you everybody for listening today. It was not very structured, but very enjoyable podcast, for me at least.
Yeah, I loved it. It was very free-flowing, many things. Cool.
Yes, and I will see you in the next episode.
Yeah, whatever that may be. Who knows? Yeah, thank you as always for a lovely chat, and I hope that this podcast has positive repercussions for whoever listens. Yeah.
Yes. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.